My older sister, Lauren, squandered her inheritance on designer purses and exotic getaways, then set her sights on mine when her funds ran dry, until a single document exposed every lie she thought she'd hidden. Lauren, now 27 and married to a guy named Derek, who's just as smug and self-entitled as she is, always had to be the one in control growing up. I'm 17, finishing high school and living with our Aunt Margaret after our father's passing. Lauren, on the other hand, is too caught up in her tantrums to take on real responsibilities. She and Aunt Margaret, they've been at odds for as long as I can recall. Lauren's always been a control freak, obsessed with running the show. As kids, she called all the shots. Board games, Lauren chose the game. Movie nights, it had to be her pick. If things didn't go her way, she'd throw a subtle, venomous fit until everyone caved. Most people gave in to avoid the drama, but not Aunt Margaret. She never indulged Lauren's antics, and Lauren despised her for it. One memory stands out from when we were younger. Dad was seriously ill, and Aunt Margaret stepped in to help. Lauren was supposed to be washing dishes, but was too busy texting Derek, acting oblivious. Aunt Margaret, no nonsense as ever, told her to get up and do her chores. Lauren scoffed, muttering, "You're not my boss." Aunt Margaret didn't flinch. "No," she replied, "but I'm not your servant either. Get moving." Lauren cleaned the dishes, slamming every plate in a huff. Later, she ranted to me about how Aunt Margaret always tried to control her. I stayed quiet, but Aunt Margaret was right. As we grew up, Lauren's resentment toward her only deepened. Aunt Margaret kept helping Dad with tasks Lauren ignored, driving him to doctor's visits, paying bills, keeping the house in order. Lauren called it interference, accusing Aunt Margaret of overstepping. I saw it for what it was. Stepping up. When Derek came into the picture, Lauren had already perfected her role as the family's perfect daughter. Derek worshipped her, feeding her ego, and Lauren thrived on it. Aunt Margaret saw through him from the start, calling him conceited and insincere. She wasn't wrong, but Lauren didn't care. To her, Derek was flawless, and she dismissed anyone who disagreed. Derek wasn't just arrogant, he was outright rude. Whenever he came over, he'd toss out snide remarks. If Dad made dinner, Derek would mumble, "Well, this is interesting." When I mentioned my dream of attending medical school, he'd smirk and say, "Hope you've got a plan B, kid. Not everyone makes it." Lauren never stood up for me. She'd just laugh like his comments were clever. Aunt Margaret, though, didn't let it slide. She'd either fire back with a sharp retort or ignore him completely, which drove him crazy. The tension between Lauren and Aunt Margaret worsened after Lauren married Derek. She rarely showed up to family gatherings, and when she did, in the upcoming short video, catch the complete story with the channel link provided below.